is the Solo Ant Show, and we're here with the multiverse where we talk about comics and comic book movies and whatnot, and we also talk about all the issues that's plaguing America right now, like why is it straight to fuck a chick with a dick, but it's gay to fuck a dude with a pussy. To introduce ourselves, I am Ant, Inspectah Ant, and I'm here with my left hand man and everybody's favorite transphobic piece of shit.
Dude, I thought it was homophobic. Now I'm transphobic. What the fuck? Make up your mind, people. Make up your mind. Oh gosh, what's up?
How's it going? How's it going in transphobia?
It's good, man. I mean, I still don't feel like I'm afraid of anything, but I guess, yeah. Label me all you want. Put them tags on me. I don't give a fuck. I'm good, bro. I guess I'm the biggest douchebag jerk here in this Spotify connection. How are you?
I'm doing good, doing great, doing good.
Doing good up in the hood.
Yeah.
And even though your judge misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we talking about? Are we talking about movies, or are we talking about more controversial stuff that pisses people off?
Well, I think today we're gonna do a little bit of both. You know,
Okay, well,
both.
be out both. Well, let's start with the movie first.
All right. So on today's episode,
What are we talking about?
We'll be talking about
Talking about
X-Men D Phoenix Romeo. What were your thoughts on the movie?
I expected the movie to beginning, middle, and end. I expected the movie to end that way, in a way. I know we kind of mentioned about how, because since Disney took over Fox, and X-Men is kind of lost in limbo to where how they're going to finish this chapter with this, the X-Men, the Fox version of X-Men. We were kind of figuring out how they're going to do it, and I guess we got our answer towards the end of the movie. There's like 3 parts to this film. I really like the beginning part with the introduction of the Phoenix when she was a child. But there's a lot of like little plot holes here, story continuation that I didn't understand. Like going back to Apocalypse. You watched Apocalypse, right? X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, I watched.
So, do you remember how when they were focused on the Jean Grey character, how she was born with the entity? But in this film, it looks like the entity. She looked like they just merged with the entity, the Phoenix entity, when they were shipped out to space. So I'm kind of questioning, like, was she born with the Phoenix power, or was she merged with the Phoenix power during X-Men Dark Phoenix?
Well, I think it's a combination of both, because if you remember in the beginning, the little flashback scene when she was a little girl, I think kind of hinted that she had some type of dark shit in her.
Okay, well, I mean, I'll give it that, a little bit of both. That's what I thought too. The middle part was a bit slow, um, especially when they were focused on the aliens. I don't know what they call them. I guess they were supposed to be like the Skrull version of the X Men.
Well, yeah, originally
So it's
they're supposed to be squirrels, but then because
yeah.
of Captain Marvel, they had to change that script too.
Not only that, agents, Shield of Agents or Shield of Agents, that the show, they also introduced
Agents of
Skrulls as
Shield.
well. Agents of Shield, yeah, they also introduced Skrulls, so I guess there's more reason not to have them at on the Fox, yeah, Dark Phoenix story. But these aliens, they're also comic related, reference to the X Men comic books. Do you know anything about that? I mean, that's what I've read. I don't know too much about these aliens, but supposedly they're shapeshifters, just like those Skrulls. They're a lot more
Yeah, I
stronger
mean,
than the Skrulls,
I think they are characters in the comics.
but not as popular as the Skrulls, of course, or the Kree.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah. I think they were mentioned just like a few times in the storyline of the X Men universe. Um, so yeah, I really like the beginning. I like the middle part was a bit slow, which I think that's where a lot of people were complaining about. But the ending part, man, that was awesome, man. When all the Brotherhood and the X Men kind of band together to fight with these aliens, because these aliens are trying to get to, who is it, Jean? Were they trying to get to Jean, or were they trying to get to? I forgot who they trying to get to.
They were trying to get to Jean because remember the humans arrested all the mutants.
Right. So I thought that was cool. The ending part, I guess the end of the film, I guess.
When Jean sacrificed herself.
Yeah, this is a spoiler alert, right? Did we do a spoiler alert review? No. Spoiler alert, right?
Romeo, the movie is voted as being the worst comic book movie of all time, so I doubt anybody's gonna watch it.
But overall, I like it. I mean, it's still an X-Men film. It still feels like an X-Men film. You know how the X-Men universe. You know how they're what do you call this? You know how the record is. It's either really good or really bad. There's no in between. This one was all right. I thought this one was okay. I mean, what are your thoughts about the whole film before we get into the nitty gritty, the detailed and the Easter eggs of the film?
Well, my thoughts on the film was like I thought it was good for what it was. You could tell they had to change a lot of shit up. Because like I said, originally it was supposed to be a Dark Phoenix saga, so I think they were gonna make it to a trilogy. But then because of the merger, they decided they had to cut all that down into one film. I was disappointed too. I thought the film was gonna be longer instead it was a lot shorter. Me personally, I thought the movie was boring. Like for an X-Men movie, there was like literally no action until like the third act.
Mm-hmm.
I also felt like I think my biggest gripe about this, and the reason why I hate the fact that Disney wants to end it and reboot it, is that even though these are the same characters, they're different actors, and I feel like we never really got a chance to get invested with these actors playing these roles. It just feels like this is only their second movie together, and I feel like I don't even know who the fuck they are. Even though I know the characters, but like the people are different. It just feel like they're different. And then also too, the writing also bothered me because, Quicksilver, they just forgot about him. Like he got hospitalized and you don't even see him again. It's like, is he dead or is he in a coma? Like, what the fuck wrong with him? Mystique, I was happy they killed her off because she was getting on my fucking nerves. It's about like 2 movies too late, but I'll take it. Because I hate the fact that Mystique's part of the X-Men because Jennifer Lawrence thinks she's too good to play a villain or whatever. So yeah, good riddance to Mystique. But yeah, other than that, and I also say this too, Simon Kinberg, Just stay away from superhero films. He wrote X3, which was terrible. He
Uh,
wrote Fantastic Four in 2015, which was terrible. And he wrote and directed Dark Phoenix, which a lot of people feel is terrible. So that's three superhero movies that he's fucked up. So he should just retire from superhero movies because he's bad luck. Anytime he's involved with a superhero movie, it does bad. So Simon
yeah.
Kinberg just write something else, direct something else. Just leave superhero movies alone.
I mean, that's a bad luck streak for Simon Kinberg.
Yeah.
What was it? What was his history of films that he wrote in the past prior to X-Men 3?
Well, let me
what other movies did he do?
Let's look that shit up on Wikipedia.
Let's wiki it. Wikipedia. Wikipedia.
Well, okay. Well, first of all, he apologized for the movie.
What the fuck?
That's a good start.
Which one?
Dark Phoenix.
He should have apologized for X3 and then stop there.
Okay, the first movie he wrote was Triple X. Remember that movie, Vin Diesel?
I did. Okay, that's like a guilty pleasure for a lot of people, but I didn't like it, man. That's one of Vin Diesel's movies that I did not like. It was just too much, not raunchy, just too much, just like cliche action, no story. Just it kind of reminded me of like what's his name? Who directed Transformers? We're beginning to forget.
What's his name?
Yeah, because we're beginning to forget Transformers. I guess they're trying to.
He also did Ninja Turtles, the Ninja Turtles reboot as well.
Dude, what, Michael Bay?
Yeah, Michael Bay. Yeah.
That Triple X movie kind of reminded me of a Michael Bay film, except you just got one of the Fast and Furious actors to play.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Simon Kinberg has written a lot of shit, and I don't mean like shit like he's wrote a lot of things. I mean he's wrote like a lot of shit, like it's like horse shit. So here's his resume right here.
Okay.
He wrote Triple X as his first movie.
Ugh.
The second movie he wrote was Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That movie is known for breaking up a marriage, as Brad Pitt cheated on his wife Jennifer Aniston with Angelina Jolie. Because of that movie.
Yeah.
And the third movie he wrote was X3. Then after X3 he wrote Jumper, which ruined Hayden Christensen's career.
Hayden Christensen, our Darth Vader, the young Darth Vader.
Jumper was so bad. Yeah, Jumper was so bad. You don't even see Hayden Christensen act anymore.
Shit.
That movie fucked up his career. And then you have then he wrote Sherlock Holmes. I guess it's okay.
Which I like. That's not too bad. Okay. Robert Downey Jr., right?
So far the best movie on his resume is, I have to say, X-Men First Class. He wrote that. No, actually, he did not write that. He produced it.
Okay,
yeah, produced. That's different.
Okay, that's different.
All right. Then after that, he wrote Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Hunter.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Dude, oh my god. Dude, this guy's...
Then he wrote Let's Be Cops, which I have to admit is pretty funny, with Damian Wayans Jr. But yeah, he wrote that. Then he wrote Fantastic Four in 2015, which was terrible.
Terrible.
Then he wrote the Cinderella, live action Cinderella, which I have not seen, so I can't comment.
Cinderella, the Disney Cinderella?
Yeah, the live action one came out 2015.
I have not seen that, but I heard it's pretty okay. I think that's one of the first live action incorporated into animation incorporated into live action film from Disney. I think that's one of the first ones. But go ahead.
All right. Then after that, he produced Deadpool. So I guess you give him that.
What? Okay. Weird.
Yeah. Then he
again, producing and writing are two separate things. Producing is like
It's like you it's best like you're invested in the movie. Like
You're investing in the movie, but you're not really and can can come to the director and say, "Hey, I want to change this, and that." But I think with Deadpool, it was different. He gave the director at the time for the first Deadpool, because I think they fired him on the second Deadpool. But the first Deadpool, he didn't. There was a budget, so he told him, like, "Look, we have a small budget on this. We're not spending too much money on this, except for
yeah,
marketing. Like,
like
go ahead."
Fox. Yeah,
What
Fox
happened?
had no. I was gonna say like Fox had no faith in the movie, so they gave him like a $50 million budget.
It was a very small budget,
Yeah,
and he tells the director, he says, "Look, we're not really spending that much money in this anyway, so do whatever you want," which was a good thing because he didn't have his hands on it too much. He just provided whatever they needed. Okay, and the list goes on.
well, for what it's worth, he's a writer on Star Wars Rebels,
What?
which was canceled last year.
Wait, not the first. How many seasons of Star Wars Rebels did we have? Like 5?
4.
Or did he write the first, second, third season?
Looks like he wrote all 4 of them.
So, and Star Wars Rebels happens to be really good.
Well, it got canceled.
And it got canceled. Okay, from
And then right now, currently, he is the producer of the Twilight Zone reboot, which I've only seen 1 episode of.
okay. Anything else?
Well, I mean, he was a creative consultant on The Force Awakens, whatever the fuck that means.
A creative consultant. Like maybe taking some ideas from him, perhaps.
Maybe. Like, you know what? I think Kylo Ren should sound very similar to Darth Vader. Maybe make the mask similar, but not like too Darth Vader-ish. Make it a little smaller.
Hey, fuck you, King!
You know what?
We don't need that bullshit.
You know what, JJ? I was thinking, Kylo Ren, his lightsaber should be like it should have like lights coming out on the sides. Yeah. I think that's really cool. Oh, Simon Kingburn's British. So I should do that with the British accent.
So, like, the lightsaber should have like sabers coming from the side, but we'll have it upside down, looking like an upside down crucifixion. That way, it kind of mirrors the evil, of a crucified Jesus Christ.
Yes. So Simon, JJ, where you go with that?
So fuck you. You're not the producer. You're just a creative consultant.
JJ, can you tone down the lens flares, please?
Oh shit! Look here, Simon. Is it Simon?
Yeah, his name is Simon.
Oh, you're just a creative consultant. All right, you ain't the boss of me. If I want my fucking lens flares, I'm gonna do my lens flares. All right, you don't go come in here telling me I can't have my lens flares. I'm trying to blind the audience here.
Yeah, the JJ Abrams should say, "Hey Simon, how about you write a fucking movie that's actually good?"
Oh man. Okay. So judging from the list that you've mentioned, bro, he's had some bad luck, dude. I think he has like a curse on one of his pens, on his penmanship. Like whatever pen he's using to write his shit, or typewriter or computer, he needs to get rid of that shit. Dude. Because he's got some bad luck, dude.
You know what? Yeah, but you know what's weird is that shit that he produces is good. Shit that he writes or directs is terrible.
Dude, again,
he just be a producer and just stick to that shit.
Writing and producer are two separate things. Writing is more on the creative side. A producer is the boss of everything. A producer is even the boss of the director. So the director actually answers to the boss, and answers to the producer and nobody else. There's nobody else higher than director than the producer himself, or executive producer, you can say. right? Producer. Then you got your director, assistant directors, etc.
Okay, but for Dark Phoenix though, he was the writer, director, and producer. So he was in charge of everything.
Yeah, and look, I still have a soft spot for the X-Men universe, the Fox X-Men universe. I came into this theater. I mean, knowing that it's not gonna go as smooth as I want it to be, based on what I've been hearing from other people. But I'm just going in there with a non-biased expectation. So I came in and I saw it. The middle, I mean, the beginning, middle, and the end seemed like it was. I don't know. It looked like there was a lot of drastic decisions made on the end of the middle part of the story of the film. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can't say before because it's too late. I already shitted on him. But before I shit on him even further,
What the fuck?
I'll give him. I'll give him.
Before you start on him.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt with this, and that is that it wasn't really his original idea what we saw.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see. Well, obviously we'll never see it, but I would like to see how the whole Dark Phoenix trilogy would have happened if he was able to stick to his original plan of making it a trilogy instead of trying to cram all this shit into one movie.
Well, once this like Blu-ray comes out, maybe they'll have like an extended version.
I doubt it because, like, in my opinion, this is my opinion, but I think this is the first time in history that Disney's actually happy they lost money on this movie because this movie is considered a box office flop. And so I think for Disney, even though they lost money, they're happy because now they can say, like, see, this is why we need to reboot X-Men because this poor shit. And now
No, I understand. I got you. I definitely agree with you. And just to piggyback on what you said, Disney being happy that Dark Phoenix didn't go well and it was a car crash in the box office. With that being said, now Disney can make start an X-Men franchise within the next 3 or 4 years, and it doesn't have to be that good as the Avengers lineup, but it could still be better than what X-Men we've made, because now the expectations of X-Men won't be too high because they've seen the X-Men hit rock bottom already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the expectations won't be too high, just as long as you can do better than X-Men 3, Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix. Just as long as you can, if Disney can make an X-Men just a tad higher, better than those three, it would still be okay for the audience. The audience will still be invested with the story. It doesn't have to be too good, meaning Disney doesn't have to work too hard on it. But Kevin Feige is going to do something really creative with it. But I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, they're coming out with the New Mutants next year. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if it has anything to do with X-Men, but we'll see.
You know what my theory is with New Mutants? Because they've launched that trailer like how many years ago? Like a year ago, almost a year, 2 years ago.
It was like a year ago.
Yeah, it was like a year ago, right? And my theory is that was supposed to be maybe following the X-Men, Fox X-Men, but because of Apocalypse not doing very well in the box office, that's when New Mutants kind of like whoa, hold up. Apocalypse didn't do well. We gotta change the script a little bit because we had a connected universe. So now let's shelf this New Mutants, put it on pause for now, wait for Disney to take over, which is gonna be a couple of years from now or a year from now, and see what happens there. Because once Disney takes over, and we have to see how the Dark Phoenix goes first before we even mention anything about the New Mutants and their connection with the X-Men. So let's wait for the Dark Phoenix and see how that works out. If it doesn't go well, then we can go to Disney and be like, okay, take our New Mutants and see how you can connect them. Because we don't want to be connected to a universe that has a bad reputation. We want to be connected to the MCU where the money is rolling. That way we can make money. I mean, what do you think about that theory? They shelved it because they were afraid of connecting their characters, the New Mutants, to the Fox X-Men universe.
Well, the thing is, though, is like the New Mutants was originally supposed to be part of Fox because it was supposed to come out this year, and then because the merger happened, they pushed it back to next year.
Oh, okay. But that too. But now they're going to be connecting the New Mutants to the MCU, right?
That I'm not sure.
That's interesting. I thought they shelved it. Like, they discontinued the New Mutants.
Actually, no. According to a former Fox executive, she said that the New Mutants will be the final X film in the whole entire X-Men series. So it's supposed to be part of the same timeline as the X-Men. But again, it was supposed to come out this summer. Disney, they pushed it back to next year. But after New Mutants, this is it. Like, no more Fox X-Men. Like, Disney's gonna do their own thing.
So, but okay, I'm confused. But they're still making New Mutants, right? Except now they're gonna have to do some rewrites, reshoots to where it's connected to the MCU.
Yeah. So okay. No.
Since Disney owns all of the mutants now.
No, that's what they're doing. So what they're doing, okay, so originally the movie was to come out this year, and it was gonna be like a kind of like Dark Phoenix, was like a trilogy. Since Disney bought Fox, Disney's saying like it's not gonna be a trilogy. We're just gonna do one movie. That's it. So again, they had a reason why they had to push it back a year, because now they have to go back, reshoot the film, rewrite the script. So also can make so it just be one movie. So instead of doing like a trilogy, they had to reshoot it so they can end it right then and there.
Wait, you're talking about the Dark Phoenix or New Mutants?
New Mutants.
Dang, okay. Yeah, that's crazy. You know, I feel bad because that movie, The Dark Phoenix itself, the movie that I just saw a week ago, it felt like it should have been a 3-part movie. And it felt like Simon Kingbird had to mash everything. Like, he really had to remove a lot of content in the film and mash it all together. Like that one time when they were flying up, that could have been the Shi'ar Empire scene on the first part, right? You could have introduced like aliens, like the Shi'ar Empire could have been introduced. That could have been the first part.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he was forced to cram
everything into one.
Yeah, and they're gonna be now. You're gonna be seeing the same thing with the New Mutants. Like, I think Disney is intentionally sabotaging these movies just so they can, reboot these movies and have their own characters and try to incorporate them into the MCU. It's like whatever Fox had planned is like, fuck that. It's no trilogy, just one movie, get it over with, and we're gonna do our own thing.
I can just picture Mickey Mouse talking. Oh, we're gonna fuck Fox in the ass!
Like the New Mutants. Fuck the New Mutants.
This mouse is king, bitches!
And now I really do our own thing.
Oh shit. That's an evil mouse, man. That's an evil mouse. Alright, cool. What are the favorite scenes that you can remember in The Dark Phoenix?
The only good part was just the final act.
Yeah, a lot of people said the same thing. Yeah. I love Nightcrawler, dude. Nightcrawler turned into a killer for a second. Like he
And oh,
reminded
that's
me of
that's another
Cecil.
thing. That's another thing that bothered me too was Nightcrawler.
Oh,
They
you
never.
like him?
No, I like Nightcrawler. What bothered me was they never mentioned the fact that Mystique is his mom, which is weird because her baby daddy was in first class.
Here's another continuity issue that I'm kind of struggling with right now. So
Dude, they
Azazel
had
is the dad,
both the Nightcrawler.
right?
Yeah, Nightcrawler's parents are in this timeline because you have Mystique and Azazel, and they never mentioned any of them being Nightcrawler's parents.
Well, that I've noticed that since X-Men 2, where that's never mentioned. You know, there's a continuity issue there. But here's another one: X-Men Wolverine Origins. John Wraith, who was played by Will.i.am, who can teleport, was also mentioned to be the father of Nightcrawler. How many baby daddies does Nightcrawler have? Who's the real father, dude? I feel like you got to bring Mystique, John Wraith, Azazel, or Magneto.
You gotta take Mystique. Take Mystique on the board.
No, take him to the Maury show.
Yeah.
We can take him to the Maury show and be like, "Who's the daddy?"
So, Mystique, is it true that we gave Mystique a lie detector test, and she said that prior to giving birth to Nightcrawler, she only sucked 2 dicks. The lie detector test proved that was a lie. She actually sucked 4 dicks.
Oh shit! I can just imagine on the Maury show when Maury introduces, ladies and gentlemen, Raven Darkle. Give it up to Raven Darkle. Everyone claps right. She comes in, and she's like, and there's a picture of baby Nightcrawler. Look at him! Look at him! Look, he's got the same ears. He's got the same tail. He can teleport just like him. That's his baby daddy. They look alike.
No, they could look alike. No, first they'll be like, okay, so here's Raven Darkle. Boo. You don't know me. You don't know me, bitch. You don't know me, bitch.
Ghetto ass fucking mistake. You don't know me. I ain't no hoe.
Bitch, I ain't no hoe.
Oh shit, dude. Because he be sleeping with a lot of people. She be sleeping with Beast. Look, even Beast could be the father. He's blue. How do you know? So she was sleeping with Beast, Azazel, Magneto, Professor X, maybe? Who knows?
Before he got paralyzed.
She was with a lot of people, dude. And how do we know it's Azazel? It could be Azazel. It looks just like Nightcrawler.
I'm just saying, if you stick to the comic books, you know Azazel is the dad. But I mean, if they want to switch it up, I mean, they could do that too.
Oh shit! Give him the paternity test on the Maury show. Azazel pops up, or no, John Wraith comes up, and Maury goes, for 5-pound baby Nightcrawler. John Wraith, you are not the father.
No. You gotta do it like this. All right, so we took the DNA test, and the results are on. John Wraith. Are you the father of baby Nightcrawler? Let's see. And the DNA test results say that John Roth, you are not the father.
Oh! I told you, bitch! I told you! He starts dancing. Oh! I told you! I told you,
bitch! I ain't your dad. I ain't your daddy. Go find your real daddy.
Just because I can teleport don't mean shit. Don't mean shit.
They bring it to Texas. They bring it to Texas just like, hey, my son, that motherfucker's blue.
I'm red. Why don't you talk to that motherfucking Duke Beast guy that you're sleeping with?
I'd be like, nah, my mama's red, my daddy's red. What's the thing? I have another daughter. My daughter, she red, so that baby can't be mine. I don't give a fuck if we looking like a nah.
That shit is funny, dude. There should be a skin on that. Oh my god.
Like this motherfucker got yellow eyes. Ain't nobody in my family got yellow eyes.
And the Raven goes, but he got a tail like you. He got a tail like you.
He got a tail like you.
A lot of people got tails. A lot of mutants got tails.
First of all, why the fuck does this motherfucker got a German accent? I ain't even German.
Oh shit, that's just too funny, dude. But he got a tail. Look at his tail. Looks just like his. Pointy, long, and looks like a fucking.
No, forget the tail. Look at his ears. Look at his ears.
The teleportation. Teleportation.
The same power. And both of y'all got black hair.
Oh shit, that's too much, dude. They should do a fucking parody on that shit. And then fucking Eric comes in, Magneto comes in. Don't fucking look at me. Oh shit.
Eric's like, nah.
Nah, don't even look at me.
Yeah, don't even look at me.
The fuck?
I don't fuck human bitches. No, I told her you better be blue when I fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. I only fuck with you if you're blue.
Yeah, I only fuck with you if you're blue. Not only that, but all my kids look human. You know, Quicksilver,
right.
Loris,
Wanda.
They're all white. This motherfucker is blue.
Oh shit. Oh man, that shit was too funny. We would call it the X-Men paternity test in the Maury show. Maury's mutants.
Maury's so who is the father? And then Maury always, every time Tessa was like, "You're not the father," then Maury be like, "Don't worry, it's okay. Come back, bring another man, and we'll do a test too.
We'll try it again, okay?
And we'll try it again, okay?"
She brings like steer. Oh shit!
Do you know who else it could be? I don't know, Maury. I don't know. I swear, he was the only person I fucked. I don't know who else it could be.
That's just too funny. I like Nightcrawler in this one. I think he was a lot better here than he was in Apocalypse. And even the special effects towards the end, I thought was really good. That full on battle with the aliens versus the Brotherhood and the X-Men. I thought that was pretty cool.
I also like Cyclops, man. To me, he was like they did a great job of I guess like getting Cyclops essence. Like he felt like the Cyclops from the comic books.
Yeah. They actually gave him more to do in this one than he did on the second and third film.
Even though I wish they would have gave him his costume that he had at the end of Apocalypse. That blue and yellow costume like he has in the comics.
See, that's another thing with the continuity. Why did they go back to their flight suit costume? Is it because they're jumping out of the X-Jet, or because they had the full-on costume at the end of the Apocalypse? Which I love that. I love that part at the end in the Apocalypse. Full colored costume, which was which was Singer's.
His costume at the end of Apocalypse was similar to what he wears in the '90s animated series. Right.
And because remember how Ryan Singer was against colored costumes, where he made everything black, and he even mentioned this on the commentary, like the director's commentary, where where like I mean I see that they had colored costumes in the comic books, but you can't interpret the colored costumes into real life. So I decided to make them all black. That way, it's like I get it. The black part kind of reminds the black colored suits kind of remind me of the X Force, kind of like a stealth mission. But they're fighting during the daytime. I mean, during stealth missions, yeah, you should wear all black. Because
Well, see, but see, to me, I like the colored costumes because it shows each character's individuality.
right, and they were fighting during the daytime. Yet they were still using their flight suits, which was I think what Xavier was or Dr. McCoy was mentioning on First Class, how they first got their flight suits, their X flight suits, because they were jumping. It was like their Halo suits, right? What were they like? Halo suits?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up too, because I didn't even think about this. But okay, in the movie it says Dark Phoenix took place in 1992. Those
Mm-hmm.
flight suits were made in the 60s. So you mean to tell me
Yeah.
they've been wearing the same shit 30 years? Like they never made any new suits for these people, for these kids? Like,
I
oh yeah,
mean,
here. It's like Xavier. It's like Xavier was just cheap and be like, here's some hand me downs from the 60s. You guys just wear that shit.
dude, even the shit in the '60s looked better than the shit in Dark Phoenix. I'm like looking at like, can you really protect yourself in that shit? I guess. Like,
I
dude,
mean,
that shit,
it's
looks
like,
like something got out of Party City or something. Like
dude,
their suits look like it came out of Party City.
not only that, they couldn't even afford gloves. Like, if you notice, they didn't even have gloves on. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's
I
like
mean,
you're
you just
fucking
DNA, dude.
here.
Like, the whole point of being a superhero is to be discreet. Like, you guys are just leaving DNA and fingerprints all over the fucking place.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like, it's 1992. I'm pretty sure technology from 1960 to 1992 has improved a lot.
Yeah.
Wearing the same shit.
I mean, their costumes look outdated, and it doesn't mesh up with the fact that they live in this mansion. That's like
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like I said, like that's what
year 2049 or something. Their mansion looks like it's even more advanced than 2019, but their costume is outdated to like it's back in the 60s or the 50s or something or the 60s.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, and they established in the movie that this movie takes place in 1992.
Yeah.
Even for 1992, those costumes look outdated.
Who built the X-Men shit in 1992? Who the fuck has that technology? like they already have like cell phones and shit and fucking holograms and like it's like where are you getting this technology that NASA doesn't even have yet? Like how the fuck where are you getting this shit? You know what I think they should have done to explain the technology that they have in 1990s with the X-Men? They could have did something with the aliens. Like, yeah, we probably got the technology from the Shi'ar Empire. I mean, if that could have explained why the X Mansion looks like that. Did you remember the X Mansion? Like everything's, you can't even tell what year it is anymore. You're either like, are we still on 1980s, 90s, or are we like 2049 or something? Because
Dude,
look at X Mansion.
The mansion looks exactly the way it did in Deadpool, and that takes
Yeah,
place
right.
in present time.
Yeah. But I'm talking about like the danger room and like everything below it. Like, where do they get that technology? Like Cerebro. Remember how Professor X comes in with Cerebro? Like that's all holograms. We didn't even have holograms.
Wait. In fairness, they did have all that shit in the X-Men animated series, which took place in the same timeline.
Yeah, I understand, but why not explain that shit? Like, where are you getting the technology?
Yeah, but when you watch the X-Men animated series, even though it came out in 1992, as a kid, you don't be like, man, I wonder how they got all that technology. You'd be like, wow, that shit was cool. So no, they never really explained it in the cartoon. So I guess they just figured like, why explain it in the movie?
And you, I mean, you're gonna have like a general audience come in, and they're gonna get confused. They're gonna be asking the same questions, if not us. We'll probably let it pass because it's comic related. Nothing has to be science fact, and nothing has to be a proven fact that this exists or this doesn't exist. Yeah. Oh shit. I think there's so sorry, there's a cop. There's a cop behind me. Some guy just got pulled over. Anyway, what were you saying?
Um. So yeah. No, that's the end of our show. I am going to go beat my meat, and Romeo is gonna make sure he doesn't get pulled over by the police. And all I have to say is until next time.
Hands up, motherfucker! No, I was kidding. All right, until next time. Have a good night, and we'll see you again.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, watch training porn.
Yeah, sure, I'll watch it. Why not?
Yeah. Nighty night. Don't keep your butthole too
Peace.
tight.
Peace out.